Neil from Essex here today to talk about Kubota's 40 horsepower tractors. You need to have a PhD in tractors in order to understand all of Kubota's products and the way that they're layered and why there are so many stinking options. Today we're going to walk through 3 of these different machines and explain to you which one might be right for you.
Essex, a helping hand with your land.
Now first, our 3 40 horsepower tractors. When you look at these machines in front of me here, you're going to notice they're not actually all 40 horsepower. When Kubota makes a machine, they're going to build a given size frame, chassis, transmission, and then have several different models with different engine horsepowers based upon that setup. So for example, the one right in front of me here, this LX 2620, LX is the product series, 26 is the horsepower, and 20 is the iteration of this family tractor. So the next one would be LX 2630. If you have one that's more horsepower, for example, an LX 3520 or LX 4020, all of which are built in this family, we're talking about tractors that are either 26, 35, or 40 horsepower, all built on this same frame. Now those machines are all going to be representative of one another, and if you've seen an LX 2620 like this, you've seen an LX 4022, and it just happens for me making videos today, this is what was convenient. The same goes for my one down here at the end, this LX L3560. There's a L4060, which is going to be primarily the tractor that we're going to talk about today. Looks exactly the same. It's very simply a different engine slid under the hood. So to me, what makes the 40 horsepower tractor here so confusing is the prices of these machines. And I don't often talk about price on YouTube videos. Tractor prices are as complicated as the tractors themselves when it comes down to things like, financing packages and cash rebates and dealer sales incentives. There's a lot going on that goes into the price of that machine, and it's very difficult to make comparisons. But for our conversation here today, I'm going to give you today's MSRP pricing for the tractor on R4 tires and a loader with a typical bucket that we would usually sell here at Essex. Now remember, most people don't typically pay MSRP. You've got all kinds of stuff going into the price of this machine. So if we start the whole way here on your left and we were to look at an LX 4020 and an open station with R4 tires and a loader with a 60-inch bucket, that MSRP is going to come out to $36,126. If we move up here to the L3902, this machine with a roll bar and an open station, R4 tires, loader, 66-inch bucket, $34,468. Even though this is physically a little bit larger tractor, it's actually a little bit cheaper. And if we go down here to the end to the L4060, a 4060 LE limited edition tractor in an open station, R4 tires, loader, 72-inch bucket, $40,871. So only about a 10% spread from the smallest variant of the 40 horse tractor to the largest variant of the 40 horse tractor. But the differences here kind of continue when we dig into what these machines are made for. So that's a little what the family here looks like, but let's dive into some comparisons directly between these machines, and as you go from one to the next, exactly what are your differences. The cheapest one out of the lot actually here is the L3902, coming in at $1,600 less money than what an LX 4020 would be. Now these two machines are for a different kind of customer. We generally are going to look at Kubota's LX series tractor as a machine for a high-end homeowner. Somebody like myself, actually. I have 11 acres that my home is on, and I choose an LX series tractor for working around my own property. I choose to go that direction because I prefer its lighter weight. I don't want a big heavy machine rutting up things behind my yard, and I don't have a huge property, so something with a little bit shorter wheelbase and a little bit more compact machine is appealing to me. Now when it comes to loader capacities, this is a very capable loader, lifts as much as what I'm comfortable driving the machine around, and the thing can get a lot of work done. With 40 horsepower under the hood of a tractor this small, you can run virtually any PTO powered implement that you can come up with without any strain on the tractor whatsoever, which is why this 26 horse variant makes sense for so many of our customers, because it is a great size machine and most people don't need just quite that much horsepower. Now, At $1,600 less money, if you just wanted to save some bucks, the L3902 over here is also an appealing option. Now, while we tend to go this direction for more of our sophisticated homeowner who wants the features and a little bit lighter weight machine, a 3902 is going to be a much more utilitarian tractor. This machine is physically a little bit bigger. You can see that. It weighs a couple 100 pounds heavier. That's going to make it feel a little bit more planted with a heavy implement. And its loader is a little bit more stout. When you look at the size of the booms and the bulk in the quick coupler, there's a little bit more meat in this tractor. Now, we tend to sell this a little bit more to that utilitarian type task, right? To somebody who might have a hobby farm or is doing a little bit more kind of like light ag and heavy landscaping type work. Right now, we don't generally in this tractor care about its heavier weight because we're not primarily working on turf like we are with this machine. Now, in order to get a little bit more of that heft, you are giving up here a little bit in terms of features. So the standard L series does not come through with a mid PTO, so it's not able to run a mid mount mower. You probably want to anyway because it is a little bit heavier. And when you look at some of the features around the back of the tractor on its 3-point hitch and some of the ergonomic considerations here around the operator's platform, it is considered a little bit more basic tractor. Now, it is important to know when you look at the loaders of these machines, a lot of people focus on very particular specifications here when we're shopping for machines, right? The horsepower, it's what you clicked on this video for, probably both of them the same. Many people also are very quick to look at the loader capacities. And the loader capacity of these two machines is almost exactly the same, despite this one being a little bit heavier, a little bit longer, and should be able to support a little bit heavier loader. What you miss in that loader capacity is while the lift capacities are about the same, the lift height of this tractor is significantly higher. And as your loader goes up, you lift less weight as you go up. So even though the specification on paper of these two machines is very close to one another, this tractor will actually outlift the LX series at a similar height. So lift and carry type applications are going to make this tractor a little bit more capable. The next tractor we're going to talk about here is Kubota's Grand L series tractor. The Grand Ls are Kubota's most feature-rich, most capable, deluxe compact tractors that they make. And this series runs the whole way from the bottom tractor down here at 35 horsepower, the whole way up to 60 horsepower, sharing basically the same feature set, the same engineering. There are two machines in this family that are called limited edition, and oddly enough, limited edition is not an up-spec machine like you would expect from a car or a truck. In the case of Kubota machines, it's actually a down-spec configuration. Now, oddly enough, when they down-spec that configuration, they pull off about $400 worth of stuff from our parts department and drop the price of this machine about $4,000. So here at Messick's, we only really ever sell the limited edition variants of this tractor, and we simply will buy the things from our parts department and upgrade the limited edition machines to have the features on them if our customers decide to go that direction. From a pricing perspective, though, this one gets really interesting when it's compared to the other smaller models here. An L4060, if we're sticking with the 40-horse machines, and an open station with R4 tires, a loader, and a 72-inch bucket comes out to $40,871, about $4,700 more than the LX 4020 would be. Now, you should also consider this one right here beside me, an LX 3560. Tractor, open station with R4 tires, loader, and a 72-inch bucket comes in at $36,836, about $700 more than an LX 4020. Now, granted, it's less horsepower, but you can see from the tractor behind me, it's a much bigger, much more capable machine. The Grand L series, being Kubota's most deluxe and feature-rich compact tractor, offers a number of things here that aren't found on other machines. And most of that comes down to the HST Plus transmission. I've done other videos that are nearly 20 minutes long explaining all the functionality that comes in that transmission, but it's important to know that this family of machine, in both the deluxe and the limited versions, are going to come along with a lot of additional features that are not found in a lot of the other Kubota models or even competitive models that are out there. You can see here from this machine, it is physically the biggest of the three of these, and that does create a lot more comfort. I can stretch my legs out a lot more. There's a much bigger operator's platform. The seat is a lot more comfortable. The armrest is laid out here with all the controls over on the side. It's a very nice machine to operate, and this bigger machine also comes along with bigger, more capable implements. Now, this tractor is going to come along with two different loader options. An LA855 is what we use on virtually every machine that we sell here at Messick's. And that loader is going to be quite a bit more capable than what these other two tractors would be. If you're shopping for a price-oriented machine, you can actually put an LA555 loader onto it that's going to be less capable and is going to save you about $1,000. But that's a trade-off that I personally would never make. I would want that extra capacity for $1,000 on a tractor of this size. So what pushes this tractor to end up with a particular customer isn't the fact that it's 40 horsepower like these other ones are, or that it's a certain price because these are all within spitting distance of one another. It's really what its intended use is, right? We generally are going to see Grand L series tractors end up with homeowners that might have more acreage, farmers that are going to have, say, hobby farms or small commercial farms, going into landscapers that are going to be hauling these things around to job sites and need more significant three-point hitch capacities than what most customers do. It is situated kind of in that commercial utility type area, or a homeowner that has more acreage that's going to benefit from the feature set that this machine has. But recognize it's hard to see things on the internet or watch videos on YouTube and realize the physical size of things, that this is a much bigger tractor physically than what the alternatives are. So if we remove all the specification and pricing from these equations, if you're shopping for a tractor, there's certain kinds of people that should start in these different areas, right? If you're a homeowner that has some significant acreage and you're gonna use things like a mid-mount mower or a front snowblower, and a big heavy tractor is not gonna be useful on your property, you wanna start down in the LX series tractor. If you're down below about 5 acres, you wanna go a step further down to the small B series. Now, if you're gonna be, say, doing a little bit more utilitarian type work, right? We're not doing mid-mount mowers and snow blowers. Maybe we've got a small hobby farm with a horse or two. We need to be able to move around the light end of where round bales end up. We're gonna look up here in the standard L series. And if you're more of a commercial operator, or if you got a lot more acreage and you're doing a lot heavier duty type work, or you need the efficiency and productivity that can come along from a really feature-rich tractor, start up here in the Grand L series. It's interesting to me when you look at this family, just how diverse of a customer that Kubota covers, right? There is a tractor for every type of person that's out there, and that's why I feel it's so important to stop in here and have a conversation with a salesperson. When we come in, the very first question that we're gonna ask you is, what are you doing and how much acreage are you on? And 3/4 of the time, we probably are guiding you to a different tractor that you might have walked into the store to come and see. Because maybe this looked great on paper and it had the feature set that you wanted, but when you stand beside it, my goodness, is it big, right? So if you're shopping for a piece of equipment and we can help, if you got parts and service needs for a machine you've already got, give us a call at Messick's. We're available at 800-222-3373 or online at messicks.com. A lot of features in them that aren't found in a lot of other machines or even in a lot of that is found in the HST Plus transmissions that are in the... Okay.